Good morning everybody and welcome again to English Modal Verbs Part 2. In the first presentation we talked about modal verbs in general, how are they used, the negation of modal verbs and phrasal modals. Today we are going to talk about the meanings and expressions of modal verbs. We often use these modals to express an opinion or an attitude about a possible fact or even a possible action. So let's make a start and move to the first slide, which is about the meaning of ability. With this meaning we have two modals, can and could, and the phrasal modal be able to. With any meaning or any expression there is a modal and a phrasal modal. Starting with the first one, ability, let's have a look at the table. The first one, can or can't, is used to talk about general ability. For example, I can swim, I can sing, I can run fast. The second one, could or couldn't, is used to talk about ability but the past time. For instance, when I was a girl, I could swim 10 kilometers. So can for the present time, while could for the past time. What about the phrasal modal be able to? Again, we have two forms, one for the present or the future and one for the past. Beginning with the present and the future one, we have is, are, am, able to. This one is used to describe general ability in the present or the future. For example, are you able to speak more than one language? The past one indicates was, were, able to, which means achieving something difficult in the past. For example, I was able to solve the problem. I did it. Though it was difficult, I managed to solve it. Moving to the next meaning, permission. Again we have can, could, may, might, and the phrasal modal be allowed to. What does that mean? Permission. We have these modals. Let's start with the can and may. Both are used to ask and give permission. However, may is more polite than can. Have a look at the examples. Can I ask a question? Giving a permission, you can ask a question. May we go home now? You may go home. So both are used to give and ask permission. Could is another more formal and polite way to make a request or to ask for permission. Could you pass the salt, please? Might is also used to ask for permission. Might I borrow your pen? Pay attention to this difference. Can and may both are used to ask and give permission, while could or might are used just to ask for permission, not to give permission. So this is the difference between them. What about the phrasal modal? Is I am allowed to. This phrasal modal is also used to ask for permission. He is allowed to take tomorrow off. So it is the same, by the way. The phrasal modal or the modal verb both have the same meaning, permission, but they are different in their forms and sometimes in their use. Moving to the next slide, which includes the modals will and would and the phrasal modal be going to. These three forms have different meanings. Let's have a look at the following table. The first one, will, has two meanings, prediction and willingness. Prediction means you think that something will happen in the present or the future time. For example, it will rain tomorrow, it will snow tomorrow. You think that something will happen in the present or the future time. It is also used to talk about willingness, what people are willing to do. People are ready to do something. For example, the phone is ringing, I'll get it, I'll answer. The second modal, would, is also used to express willingness, what you are willing to do. I would help, but I have injured my back. You are willing to help, but there is something that prevents you. Would but not will is used to express preference with verbs such as like, love, and prefer, especially when making efforts. For example, would you like some coffee? Would you like some tea? Would is also used to describe wishes after the verb wish. For example, I wish she would leave. I wish he would come on time. The phrasal modal be going to is used to express prediction, what you think or feel that something will happen. For example, I think it is going to snow tomorrow. I think it is going to rain tomorrow. You think that something again will happen at a specific time in the present or the future. It is also used to refer to a decision already made. For example, I am going to paint the room tomorrow. You made a decision in advance to paint the room tomorrow. Let's move to the meaning of possibility with the modals may, might, can, and could. Before talking about this meaning, I need just to pay attention to something. In the first slides, we talked about the meanings of ability and permission with these modals. What does that mean? It means that a modal can have more than one meaning. It depends on the context or the situation that the speaker wants to express. Let's talk about possibility. We use can, could, or may, might to show that something is possible now or later, but not certain. You are not sure that something will happen. For instance, they could go to the cinema. Maybe they will go to the cinema, but you are not sure. An example, she might be ill. I will call her. Maybe she is ill. You are not sure. That's why you are going to call her to make sure that she is really ill. Another one, I may not go if I am tired. Perhaps I will not go. It depends if I am tired. Something you need to focus on. Whether the modal is in the affirmative or negative forms, this doesn't mean that the meaning will be different. It is the same. Just like these examples, the negative and the affirmative meanings still express the meaning of possibility. Let's take another example. Why didn't Sam eat? Sam may not, might not, cannot, could not be hungry. Maybe he's not hungry. You're not sure. Of all these four modals, can is the least one used to express possibility. We can say this is in the last level used to express possibility. Moving to the next meaning, necessity. We have one modal, must, and two phrasal modals, have to and need to. These are used to express necessity. Something is necessary or required. For example, everyone has to stay at home to avoid catching coronavirus. Note, there is no difference, by the way, between the phrasal modals have to or need to. What I use to say something is necessary or not necessary if it is in the negative form. For example, Liz needs to or has to rest for a good long time. This is an affirmative sentence. What about the negative one? She doesn't need to or she doesn't have to pay tuition fees. Both are used to talk about necessity, whether something is necessary or something which is not necessary. What about the past form of need to? We use didn't need to in the negative when it was not necessary to do something. So it was not necessary in the past. For example, he didn't need to go to the hospital at all. That's why he didn't go. So because there wasn't any necessity to go to the hospital. What about the past form of must? There is no past form for must. Basically, we use had to talk about something which was necessary or required in the past. So we don't have any past form for must. For example, I had to study yesterday. It was necessary to study yesterday. In negation, must not and do not have to mean different things. What does that mean? Each one of them in the negative form has a different meaning. They're totally different. Have a look at the following table. Must not. It means that you do not do something. It is prevented. It is prohibited, right? You are not doing something because it is prevented. For example, you must not leave your home. What about do not have to? It has the meaning of lack of necessity, but you can. but it is not prevented. You can do it, but it is not necessary. Tomorrow is a holiday. We don't have to go to class because it is a holiday. So this is the difference in meaning of must not and do not have to in the negative forms. Pay attention to that note. Moving to the last meaning of modal verbs, we have negation. There are two modal verbs, should, ought to, and one phrasal modal, be supposed to. Should and ought to have the same meaning. They are used to express obligation or advisability. For example, people ought to, should stay home to slow the spread of COVID-19. You should, ought to avoid gathering in public places. You need just to pay attention to something. Ought to is the only modal that ends with the infinitive to. So that's why it's wrong to use it without the infinitive to. So the following sentence is wrong. You ought avoid gathering in public places. So it's wrong to use it without adding to. What about the negation of should not or shouldn't? It is also used to give what? Warning. The meaning is somehow different. So for example, you should not go shopping except for essentials. So this is a warning. The meaning of should not. Now the past of should. As I said before in the first presentation, in order to talk about past actions using modals, we need to use a modal verb plus perfect structure, just like this one. Subject, should, have, and past participle. This is used to say that something was good but did not happen. Again, in the past. For example, I had a test this morning. I didn't do well because I didn't study for it last night. I should have studied last night. So studying was a good idea, but I didn't study. I didn't do it. So something was good but didn't happen. Another example. My back hurts. I shouldn't have carried that heavy box upstairs. I carried a heavy box, but it was a bad idea to carry it. I made a mistake, so it was wrong, not a good idea to do it. Hope it's quite clear the meaning of obligation and advisability when using these two modals and the phrasal modal be supposed to. Another verb form that is close to should and ought to is had better, but it shows a stronger meaning than should or ought to. It often indicates a warning or a threat. It is used to give specific advice. Some notes about the use of had better. It has nothing to do with the past time. It has a present or future meaning. It is also followed by a base form of a verb. For example, you had better go to the doctor about your cough. So go is the base form of the verb go. What about the negative of had better? Actually, we need to add not after this verb. Had better not. Pay attention. Don't put not after the verb had. For example, you had better not to be late. You had better not to be late. Have a look at the position of not after had better. Let's talk about the phrasal modal, be supposed to. Be supposed to is used in two times, present and past. So the first one, the present time, we have is or am supposed to. It is often used when we expect something true to happen. For example, I am supposed to be at work by 8 o'clock a.m. every morning. So it's true. I am supposed. We expect that this will happen. What about the past? Was, were, supposed to. It is used to express unfulfilled expectations. For example, Paul was supposed to call me last night. I wonder why he didn't call. So the speaker expected Paul to call, but he didn't. So he didn't call. So it is used to talk about something which is not fulfilled. But still it is an expectation, but not done. Now let's summarize modal verbs. A modal verb is an auxiliary verb. It is basically followed by a base form of the main verb, no infinitives, no ing, no ed forms. It is used to express different meanings. As I said before, one modal can have more than one meaning, such as the modals can or may, as in the following examples. She can lift the table. Here we have the meaning of ability. Can I use your pen, Liz? Here we have the meaning of permission. A modal verb can be negated by adding not, as in, you must not forget your key. We have another form of modality, which is phrasal modal. It is a verb phrase used instead of a modal verb, which affects the meaning of a verb in the same way that a modal verb does. So if I am saying she's able to play tennis, it is similar to she can play tennis. So in the first one we have a phrasal modal, and the second one we have a modal verb. Both are used to express the meaning of ability. So this is the end of modal verbs, hoping that the topic is quite clear for you. If you have any questions or any comments or even any examples, you can post them on Google Classroom. Thank you very much indeed for your listening.